Well, to me, there's been a total misread by so many folks in this when they describe the results as left or progressive versus moderate. And you look at race after race, and Rick, you've done enough races, and I've worked with you a bunch, that in the end, candidate quality and candidate ability to communicate
100%.
and candidate passion, all those things, and a candidate sense of authenticity is way, way, way more powerful than ideology. I mean, it's why the progressive won in Michigan in the Senate race. He was a much better candidate, and he proves himself every day.
Vastly better candidate.
To be a better candidate. And in race after race, it's why Flanagan in Minnesota, instead of winning by 3 or 4, she won by 20. Mm-hmm. The media doesn't know how to talk about it. So they default into this, most of the media defaults into this progressive versus moderate thing, when in reality, it's candidate quality.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, we saw that in Wisconsin last week where the DSA candidate just was not as good as the guy who actually won the race. He got out, he did the work. And Syed, he could have been left, right, or center with that a degree of intensity and authenticity. Man, I think he is truly, I think he's a very impressive candidate.
Yeah. And Rick, it goes to sort of what we're trying to do here at Lincoln Project is we're not in a moment where people want you to mince words.
Right.
They want you to just tell it to them straight and tell it to them to say, this is the deal. That's why any candidate, we could look forward to 2028. Any candidate that tries to do this, I'm going to heal the country and we shouldn't prosecute Donald Trump and we're going to bring people together. Anybody that does that, I think is immediately disqualified.
That's a last place candidate in my assessment, no matter what. This idea that you can't have accountability just because, because we're nice guys. No.
Yeah, and this is the mistake. And I thought Biden was a good president. I thought Obama was a good president, but this is the mistake they made. They fell into this trap of, I'm going to work with the Republicans and I'm going to do these things, and then in the end, I'll be able to get done what I should have got done. And I think both of them missed an opportunity to address the structural problem in our country and the structural problem in the democracy. They both didn't do. They could have done certain things that would have prevented where we are today by, when they had majorities, when they had 100%. The ability to do it. But they thought, I'm going to work with the Republicans on things. And it's a mistake.
I get why President Biden wanted to do the infrastructure bill and the CHIPS Act and the Recovery Act. I get why he wanted to do it. But I also feel like that did lead them to take their foot off the gas on things like January 6th and things like the Trump classified documents prosecutions until it was way too late in the game.
And who we put in as Attorney General?
I'm sure I've never met Merrick Garland. I'm sure he is a lovely man. He was not the man for that moment.
No, it's like saying that somebody's a lovely man and they're going to go into a gladiator fight. And I was like, that guy was a really nice guy. We're in a gladiator
really good
fight.
guy. Really nice guy.
Fight.
Superb, friendly guy. Well, folks, we've got a race tonight in Florida. I just want to bring this up, Matt, before we move on to the next thing. I meant to mention this a minute ago. We have a race in Florida's 19th congressional district, which is sort of Cape Coral, Bonita Springs, part of Naples, which, folks, in Florida, it is the hotbed of MAGA. It is the white hot center of MAGA in Florida. And it is a race with not one, not two, but 3 former Republican congressmen, all who had to leave in disgrace. An insane woman. And I mean, she makes Lauren Boebert look like a Nobel Prize winning physicist. And like 15 other people, all of whom are racing to become the craziest MAGA. Matthew, and the reason I bring this up is, in my mind, there's a moment, unless Trump keels over tomorrow, I really feel like that's the future of a lot of Republican primaries. Weirder and weirder, more and more about the dear leader, even after he's going to be out of office. I feel like that's a weird preview. A lot of these guys are frustrated. They want to run for something. They want to be in office. They want to get power, but they have to go through now a reality show, not just a primary.
Well, I actually think you're right to sort of focus on that, because I think too often we think, okay, once Trump's gone, then everything will return to normal, which it won't.
No.
And the Republican Party has become it's caught the virus, right? And it's there's no antidote to it other than eliminating it, right?
Right.
Eliminating it. And I actually think it could get worse in the Republican Party, because there's a bunch of voters that are going to think that Donald Trump won 2 elections, or in some of the most of their minds 3 elections,
Right.
but that he won these elections, and the reason why the Republicans aren't winning enough is they're not being enough like Donald Trump. There's a whole bunch of MAGA voters that think that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, this is like purity checks inside of political parties rarely end well for the party's broad appeal.